Continuing this conversation, let's bring in Mark Dannels, the sheriff of Cochise County, Arizona, chairman of the National Sheriff Association for Border Security. Sheriff, thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me, Alex.
I want to get to your reaction on some breaking news. President Trump has now invoked the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. It's all in response to the Tren de Aragua gang members in the United States. What did you think of this news breaking, and what would you say to the people out there who might be concerned that this action might be used for more than just gang members, but also undocumented immigrants that are honest members of society?
Well, let me start off by Alex saying I'm not surprised he's done this. He made it very clear in his campaign presidency that he was going to protect this country, protect the citizens within, and secure our border. So he's doing everything he can to decentivize this border from people coming across. So if you're illegally here or thinking about coming across the border illegally, there's going to be consequences. So he's doing everything he can to find the worst of the worst to make sure they're captured, and we're protecting our communities throughout the United States. And we had the opportunity to meet with Tom Homan on Monday, sheriffs across the country. And again, he re-embraced that thought.
But just to follow up, what if it's not used for the worst of the worst, but just everyday immigrant citizens that are just trying to seek asylum here in the United States?
As long as they do it legally, there's not going to be a problem with it. That's the key. This is a legal rule of law issue. People are getting away from that for emotions and sensitivity, but I've done this 41 years, Alex. I've always followed the rule of law. It's not been by choice. It's based on what my oath says I will do. And that is not the priority. Will there be some collateral folks being picked up based on who they're hanging out with? That's a good possibility. But the focus is to get the worst of the worst.
Sheriff, just into my inbox moments ago, we're learning the USS Gravely has been deployed as part of the administration's effort to curb illegal immigration. The crew has experience combating piracy and migration efforts, in addition to counterterrorism. I'm not sure if you've seen that email yet, if that's hit your inbox, but your reaction to that news.
Well, he's taking all angles here. Every component of securing our border, securing our country is being looked at. That's another tool out there. And again, it goes back to the level of violence, it goes to the level of risk to all the people that work within this country and our borders within. So again, I applaud it also. I mean, he is making a message, not here locally, which is already impacted in a positive way, but he's doing it globally too.
Sheriff, encounters at the border have dropped substantially. We just heard Ali Bradley and Jorge Ventura, our two border correspondents, talk all about it. What do you attribute this to? Do you really see this as the Trump administration putting its money where its mouth is, or perhaps frequent visits by Secretary Noem and other secretaries?
Well, visits are one thing, actions another. And I appreciate the secretary coming down. She's in my neighboring county to my west here. This is based on policies, it's based on action. It's not just words. He had a history when he was the president the first time, and now he's doing it again. If we want to secure communities and safe communities, this is what needs to happen, whether it's fentanyl, whether it's gang members, terrorists, all the way through. He's doing what he promised the American people he would do. And I would challenge every elected official out there, whether you like President Trump or not, the bottom line is not about politics, but helping our people and our communities.
Sheriff, DHS has now launched a new app, or I guess a revamped app, which includes a self-deportation feature for illegal migrants. You are a border sheriff in Cochise County. I'm wondering your thoughts on whether or not you think that might be effective. For me, I find it hard to believe that anyone who is here is trying to remain low-key and would willingly self-deport.
Well, I agree with you on that, Alex. We talked about this last Monday, and when I was meeting with Tom Homan and some of his members, and the fact that I don't think it's going to be successful. But what it does do is set the stage that you were contacted, you were notified, and you take a voluntary deportation into a criminal element. This is all about setting the stage. Do it legally, or you're going to be held accountable. So, but again, I don't see people running to that app and doing that.
Guatemala says it's going to send troops to its border with Mexico to stop migrants and drugs from flowing in. What's your reaction to news like that from countries that are trying to participate, help out, and appease perhaps the President of the United States of America, and whether or not that might be effective?
Well, it all goes back to influence. President Trump is influence, and not just here what's going on locally and nationally here in the United States. It's a global challenge. It's a global issue, and it's a global partnership that he's set up. That's why Venezuela, they need Americans like we need them to work together. I applaud Venezuela to do what they're doing to clean up what's happened over the last 4 years and sometimes beyond. So, again, I'm not surprised at that either.
Sheriff Mark Dannels, Cochise County of Arizona, thank you very much for your insight today, for joining our team coverage on this very important issue.
Thank you, Alex.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.